Everybody to another real talk. I pray y'all are having a wonderful, wonderful, blessed day. As we off top, give the Most High all the honor, the glory, and all the praise and worship. My title says the Blackout and Storing Up. This is video part two. About 3 weeks ago, I did a video talking about be ready for this winter, and I know a lot of y'all watched it and left great feedback. And we talked a lot about things that we need to store with ahead of time. Like we always say, if you stay ready, you don't have to worry about getting ready. But I want to go a little bit deeper in this part two video as the Holy Spirit led in my spirit to, let me say that right, as the Holy Spirit speaks, teach Holy Spirit. As the Holy Spirit led me into thinking more and more about this. Because I don't know, I tell y'all, I feel like it's coming, and it's coming very strong. And I always like to warn people about what's really coming. I know a lot of churches are not talking about stuff like this, and they need to. I really believe it's going to be one of them hard-hitting blackouts, y'all, again, and I think it's going to be worse than last time. I really do believe that. I remember one time we was out of power for a little bit over a week. And the thing about Texas, it happens in the summer and in the winter. And when it happens in the summer, it's hot. It's real hard to deal with if you're not prepared. When you're not prepared for anything, it's going to be tough for you to deal with it. But I believe it's coming. Now, Brother Rack, you asked me, do I believe blackouts are planned? Yes. I believe blackouts are planned in many ways, and I tell you why. But I also understand that things can happen, just like on the end of my corner, an overload can blow a transformer. We all hear that noise, sound like a big shotgun, and you know that, boom, one of the transformers done blowed out. And according to how everything is hooked up, 2 streets over might still have power, or my street or the next street over from me may not have power when the rest of the neighborhood do. That's why there are different types of blackouts. We'll get into that later in this video. But things that are man-made is going to break down. And then man is going to fix it. Or man ain't going to try to fix it. But when you ask me, do I believe these blackouts are planned? Yes, a lot of them are planned. Now, what we mainly hear about, especially in Dallas, Texas, is the rollout blackouts. And a lot of times what they are doing, they plan these blackouts the way they want, but then a lot of times it don't work out the way they want, is what they tell us, of course. And they'll be like, well, your power was going to only be out for 30 minutes. If y'all can just work with us, we'll have it back on in 30 minutes. It don't always happen like that. That 30 minutes turned into 6 hours, 7 hours. That 7 hours may turn into 7 days, 7 weeks. And then you have over 500,000 people or millions and millions of people without power according to where you're located. But see, the thing is, we have our own power grid. But when things go wrong, there's no telling how long we're going to be without power. So think about it when it's a storm. When you realize what's going on here, every time you see these huge winter storms, or even if it's not in the winter, in the summertime when it's high winds and tornadoes and things coming, you're going to see a blackout. Just trace the pattern. Yeah, I'll be looking at this stuff all the time. Just watch the pattern of what goes on. Whether it's freezing or it's in the summertime, you're gonna have a blackout. And when that technology crashes, oh man, look at how the streets are. The traffic lights not functioning right. You have chaos out there on the road. You got a road rage going on. Streets is very dangerous. Or when you think about everything you be so used to You go out there and try to let your garage door down and the clicker not working. And if you don't have one of those type of garages where you can still manually let it down, you up the creek in so many ways. That's why it's always good to have that type of garage door that you can still let down with, let down with your hand. Everybody don't have that one like that, but a lot of people do. But when your power is out, here's the thing. Once again, you never know how long it's going to be out. It could be 30 minutes, it could be an hour, it could be days. Once again, so my whole point of this video, once again, is to tell you to prepare for what's coming. And if it don't happen at all, you still was prepared and ready. I'd rather you be ready for something to happen, and even if it don't happen, you still was ready for what to happen. What can you go wrong with that? You can't, you know. So keep preparing. Once again, stay ready. You don't have to worry about getting ready. Now, like I said, I talked a lot about a lot of things in that video of what and what not to do. I'm gonna go a little bit deeper in this video because, like I say, keep your flashlights in every room. You got these little LED lights. They like $5 at the dollar store. They look like wall switches, like I showed y'all in another video. Put them in every room. Put them in the restroom. Put them in your master bedroom. Put them in the kids' room. Put them all around the house, and keep you some fresh batteries in there. They last. They pretty much last a long time. Keep you some matches. Keep you some of those little torches that you push the button and the flame come out. Keep you blankets. I mean, people laugh at me. I go to the thrift store just to buy extra blankets. Leave this one in that truck. Leave that one in that truck. Thick blankets. I don't care what it look like. It's not for looks. It's for warm. Keeping you warm. Leave it in the vehicle. Keep you hand can openers. The space heaters. Now, I'm going to say this about these generators because I don't want nobody trying to put the generator in their house like people keep doing and you dying from your generator. The generator is not made to go in the house, not that type of generator. Now, they got them now where they operate off of propane or regular gas. But those generators are very dangerous when you are using them in the wrong way. Keep them away from your windows. Keep them, feet away from the house. But don't put them in the house, man. It was either last year or the year before last when many people was dying from the generators. But they also have a solar generator out now, like I was telling y'all in one of the old videos. It'll recharge back off the sun or the other way. So it's like that one is very safe, excuse me, and it's quiet. Continue to let your faucets drip when it get like this. Like I said, I'm gonna say this again. I know I may sound like a broken record, but hey, get your 5-gallon buckets just in case your pipes bust or freeze up. Because once again, I'm gonna say this in this video, you can still flush the toilet with the water being out like that. Keep them in the house. Don't worry about what the house looks like. This is for hard times and survival. I know a lot of women, y'all don't want that in the house. Don't be living in that. This is for survival. Survival. See, Didi used to laugh at me a lot of times when we were friends getting together. Why you got all these wires? Or why you keeping all this stuff in this drawer? But then when them times hit, she see why now. She like, baby, I understand now why you keep this in this room, that in that room, and all this. And if you got a landline phone, you still real good. Because you may not have call ID, but your phone still working. Now, most times cell phones are not going to crash because they are battery operated. They got a battery in them. You may, if you got a generator, you still can charge it, or you can go outside in the car, your truck or whatever, and charge it. But you may, if them towers go down and the weather's real bad, you may not be able to call people and get a good connection. But those, like the reason I want to talk about this generator, because I'm also thinking about a lot of our elders who are very sick, and a lot of them are have to use the sleeping machine, to help them go to sleep at night. And then also, you got to think about when you have these storms, you got to start disconnecting a lot of appliances, some of these electronic things, because it's going to help you avoid damage from the electrical surges. But that's why you should always, I tell people all the time, I should have brought it up here if you don't know what it looked like, get you some surge protectors. You can't go wrong with those either. Those surge protectors are designed to stop a lot of stuff from, tearing up electrical. Keep a few of them in. Keep them in every room. Can't go wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. And then to the ones that have to keep their medicine in the refrigerator. See, this is why y'all had me come back and do this part two, to deal with the sickness part of people that's really sick. Because some people have to keep their medicine in the refrigerator real cold. Well, always keep your cooler around. And think about it. When the temperature is that low outside, you get some ice and you put it in there, it's going to stay cool a long time. Put your medicine in there, if you don't have a generator. See, it's too many things. Let me say this as the Holy Spirit releases in my spirit. We make up too many excuses. Oh, we can't buy this and we can't buy that, but we don't make up no excuses when we go support our habit. We spend all this money on habits. Catch what I'm saying? And I mean this out of love, but you won't spend money on what you need to help survive with. Man, I ain't got time to buy all that, but look at how much money you spend on cigarettes in a week's time. Some of y'all in a day's time. And once again, I'm not bashing on you. This is to help us wake up. Take some of your weed money and invest in some of this stuff I'm talking about. Stop making up excuses when it comes to you surviving and your health, especially if you got children in the house. If you add up all the money lost at the casino, yeah, I'm going there, at the casino, the scratch-offs, all the running back and forth from the store, trying to win the lottery, just on your own time. Look at how much money you done wasted on that. And you could have done bought a generator. You could have done bought, some of this stuff I'm talking about. It's no excuse. See, some of us be talking about we poor, but we really ain't poor. We making poor decisions. And I don't care who get mad at the truth. I love you enough to tell you the truth. Prepare for these times. A refrigerator, when the temperature drop like that, a refrigerator will still keep your food cold for about 4 or 5 hours. Now the freezer, a full freezer, will still keep that temperature for about 48 hours. And if you got a deep freezer, oh Lord, have mercy, you are really doing good. Deep freezer can really hold it. Think about it when that temperature drop. You got to go turn your freezer and your refrigerator down a lot of times when the temperature drop outside, because if you don't, you'll freeze up everything in the refrigerator. Then you need to throw out that food if the temperature is 40 degrees or higher. Here's another thing I want to point out. I'm trying to wrap this video up. Make sure you install those carbon monoxide detectors with the battery backup. Put them in your house. Put them in them rooms. Because you want to avoid that carbon monoxide poisoning. That's very dangerous. These outages are coming, y'all. Some people have already experienced some. But JT, what's causing all this stuff? Well, I also remember this. The Bible said that Satan is also the prince of the power of the air. And then remember Matthew 24. Yahshua told us what was going to happen. And then remember Revelation 20 teaches us about the new millennium. I'm just throwing it out there. Even in the end, Yahweh said you will not even need the sun no more. He's going to be the light. But darkness is finna hit hard, y'all. Darkness, many of us are living in darkness But I ain't talking about that darkness. I'm talking about a real darkness outside is going to hit. And are you ready? You got three most common causes of these outages, which is natural causes. Just Google it. It's what you'll find when you Google it. You're going to see natural causes, human error, and overload. But then you're going to see, if you study on what I'm talking about, you're going to see the four main types of power outages. That's why they call it blackouts. And then you'll hear the term brownouts. And then you'll hear the term permanent faults. And then, like I'm saying earlier, you'll hear the term rolling blackouts. Each of these have a different cause in so many ways, and some are worse than others. That blackout is the complete loss of my whole entire neighborhood. Then you hear the brownout. The brownouts happen when you see the electrical voltage drop, or it's going to have a drop in the overall electrical supply. But brownouts are not worse than blackouts, because brownouts do not cause a complete loss of power. But you may be in your house, man, ladies, why my hair dryer ain't working right? The voltage, the wattage, everything going down, everything blinking, the oven, when I cut the oven on, this happen. Everything ain't gonna operate right when you got a lower outage voltage, let me say, during these outages. And then you have the one they call the permanent fault. That's that sudden loss of power because of, well, that power line fell down out there. That one is more simple than the rest of them. You know why? Because once they repair the power line, the power is automatically restored like that. It ain't all that, you know, we gotta wait all these hours. Sometimes it may just be 40 minutes. But what happens when all of, let's just say, more than one power line go down? Think about that. So these blackouts usually come during these winter storms or in the summertime when it's very hot. Look at the West Coast for an example. Or let's just look at California for an example. Those high winds. West Coast get hit hard all the time. High winds will cause blackouts quick. Think about that. So I said all that to say, y'all, stay ready. You don't have to worry about getting ready. I love you. Be prepared for the blackouts that's coming. Shalom, family.